Stage 3 is peak. Peak is when the sourdough starter has reached its peak height and then begins to fall back. Peak is an optimal time when a lot of bakers will use their starter. However, a lot of bakers prefer using a young starter, which means a starter that they use just before peak. Okay, everyone, I don't believe this myself, but it is the 8th hour and it is still going up, but you can see that it hasn't gone up very much. So I'm almost afraid to touch it because if I'm a little too rough with it, it probably will fall in. It's very foamy. I'm guessing it's very fragile at this point. It has not started to fall in yet because I don't see any of the little folds in the starter yet. So we will continue to monitor it and see how much longer it can go before it falls in. It is now 72.5 degrees Fahrenheit in my house, so it's fallen about half a degree. But it's still pretty warm. So that's where we're at right now, 8 hours. Actually, I do see slight folding right now. It's hard to tell with these shadows here, but I can see right here where it looks like it's trying to fold. I don't know if you can see that, where there's an indent right along here. So we'll see if that actually falls in there. Yeah, as I look at the uneven surface right now, I think that it is starting to fall in. So when your starter begins to fall in, you'll notice that it will begin in one small area like it is right here. So we'll keep an eye on it and see what it does. Maybe I'll be back in another half an hour just to see what it looks like. I think from an angle you can see the uneven top of that starter a little bit better, where it's starting to fold in. I think we've hit proof at 8 hours. Okay, it's been 8.5 hours and the sourdough starter has started to fall. So peak was at 8 hours. I sort of noticed that there was some indents in the top, and I checked half an hour after the top of the hour, and it definitely has fallen below the line. I don't know if you can see it in this. And so let me show you what it's looking like on the top. You can see all the dimples and the indents where it's falling in. So we have a starter that peaked at 8 hours after being fed at a 1:2:2 ratio. And so it's 8.5 hours now. And we'll go ahead and keep an eye on it and see if it rallies and tries to raise up again. And so I'll be checking it every hour still to see what happens.